Don't wait for tomorrow. Live for today. Keep chasing the sunshine and go out and play.
And good evening, everyone. Welcome back to another deal reveal. I hope you are having a fantastic week. And for all of you who have little monsters going back to school, I hope the transition has been going well. We have just come back from a weekend. Some of you on the call were part of our U.S. real estate investing blueprint. Some of you have been there from the past, and some of you have yet to come. But this past weekend was amazing. We spent 3 beautiful days together, and we are welcoming a whole new cohort to the JK, to the Now for Tomorrow community. And so if you do see one in the community who you may not have noticed yet, don't be shy, welcome them in. We don't bite unless you ask. And so let's all have fun together. We've got a couple of announcements for you. So yes, this weekend was the blueprint, and we're not exactly sure when the next one's going to be. We may squeeze another one in before the end of the year, but no guarantees there. Last week on our deal reveal, we had a pretty exciting one where we showcased a deal that we went through basically from start to finish, how it was structured, all the curveballs that came out our way, and how we dealt with them to basically exit in a positive position, not at a loss. And so if you missed that one, and this is another reminder that we are now on YouTube, so you can go check out all the past deal reveals and case studies that we've done on YouTube. Just find JK's Real Estate Partners, and we are there for you. So the point of these deal reveals is so you can see how quick you can really size up a property, right? And so you're not getting stuck in analysis paralysis. I almost forgot one last announcement before we jump in to Cottondale, Florida this week, is the announcement that JK's Morning Entrepreneurship is setting sail next week, right after Labor Day. So as of Tuesday, 6 a.m. Eastern, the entrepreneurship is setting sail once again for a 3rd year of getting up early, healthy, wealthy, and abundant. So if this is of interest to you, or if you're already part of the Now for Tomorrow Club or any of the other JK programs, make sure you chime in if you haven't already. For those of you who don't know, I was actually a late riser, especially in the first years of entrepreneurship, right? No one's telling you to get in and clock in at work. And so got up at 9, got up at 9:30, got up at 10, got up at 10:30. And then when it started, I think the first time I hit somewhere around 11, I'm like, no, we got to make a major change here. And so ever since we started the entrepreneurship, I've been waking up basically at 6 a.m. And, the early bird gets the worm, and we're able to focus on us, right? Health, wealth, and abundance in that order. But enough about that. If you're interested, reach out and we'll tell you all about it. But today, we're getting excited, hopefully, because we are going to analyze a deal submitted by Xavier, and this is going to bring us right back to Florida. We're going to go in Cottondale, Florida, and see what we can buy for $105,000. And as always, your job here is any point you let us know, is this a deal or no deal for you? So start the clocks. Here we go. So step number 1, we have our address. I like to go to Trulia first to make sure I have the format of the address correct. And this is what it's looking like so far. I'm going to copy the address, and I'm going to gather some basic information here. Okay, so this doesn't appear to be in the city. We have a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2,000 square foot on 2.25 acre. And since it's looking a little run down, I'm going to get a sense of what's happening on the inside to see what kind of project we're looking at here. So there is clearly some deferred maintenance. We can see the vinyl at the bottom here. Like, just, I don't know, has this been vacant for a while? At the bottom of this of the door, you just see it. And now we're on the inside and we can see definitely floors, the old wood paneling. All right, there is some or beginnings of what might have been upgrades at one point. Missing tiles, so we're definitely seeing broken floor here. That this is quite a bit of work. Oh boy, look at that kitchen. Okay, so we've got a good full kitchen remodel to do as well. Definitely the cabinets and so forth. Okay, so we're looking at a pretty big job. I'm looking at these pictures right now, and just to get it back up to standard, it's looking like, you know, at least 40, 50,000. And we haven't really taken a look at some of those bigger mechanicals. I can't pronounce myself on the roof, on the furnace, on the plumbing. I don't know. Just that kitchen and throughout paint and floors and doing everything throughout. There's some exterior work to do. So this is already, I would say, beyond a medium-sized project on this property. Truly estimates it at 193. And if you recall, this is a property that is available for 105. So there might be a spread here. We might be able to buy and renovate at a discount, but I don't really like the Trulia estimate. Remember, rule number one of real estate is buy at a discount. And so if it is worth 192, we should be all in it for at least, you know, no more than 175 for such a big project like this for sure. So just going to gather a little bit more information. I like to look at this, right? How much was this sold and bought for in the last couple of years? So in 2018, it was listed for 40, and in 2019, it was sold for 28, okay? And now it's up for sale for 105. So what kind of work was done, or was it just the COVID inflation bubble that's accounting for this? So that's definitely a question that's going to come into my questioning with the broker or with the seller. So that's number one. Number two, we can actually, let me finish up number one. Let's go to Zillow and get a sense if they have different price point evaluation that they think it might be worth something different than Trulia. Why didn't it pick it up? Okay, same thing for Zestimate. They're probably pulling from the same information one to the other. So I like to get a couple of different opinions. So I might go to realtor.com, all right, to see if they have different opinions of the value, because rule number one, buy at a discount. 172. Okay, 172. And we can keep going. We can maybe go on Redfin and see what Redfin has to say about the value. So we're trying to triangulate a little bit the value of this property. Redfin doesn't seem to have an estimate. Okay, so we got 170, 190, we're in the run, and you know, that's basically where we're at. If we buy it for 105, at least we know it's not for sale for 210. At least there's that. So it looks like up front there's an opportunity to buy at some discount here. So rule number one. Rule number two is, if I buy it, will there be cash flow? And so let me turn on my VPN so I can get some unlimited rental meter pulls here. And so I can go back in, put in the property's address, 3 bedrooms, it was a 2-bath home. And I can see here that, well, we don't have enough information in this area. There's really not enough rentals. It's not pulling enough data to give you anything. So we can go back to Zillow, saying the rent estimate is 2,500, but like everything else, you don't want to base all your information on one data point. And so you could simply take the, let me just open up another tab so I don't lose the address here. We can definitely just go to the zip code, for example, and see what is for rent nearby, right? To get some, really not much going on, it seems. Wow. All right, so where are these pulling from here? I don't even see them on the map. So different places you can go to look to see what rents are. I mean, if a rental meter is not pulling enough comps, maybe you're not in a large enough urban center or so forth to have decent management or backups to your management. So not having enough data in rental meter could be a flag as an out-of-state investor, because you're going to be relying on property managers to make your investing decisions. But you could go to different websites to see what the rental comps are, or contact local management companies to see what the rental comps are. And if you're seeing that the rents are basically under 1,500 a month, right, under the 1% rule, let's say you buy it for 105 and you put 45 into it, you're at 10, you're at 150 all in. If your rent is less than 1%, your monthly rent is less than 1% of your project cost, you're most likely not going to cash flow, or not cash flow very much at all. So this is a very quick trick to see if you're going to get some cash flow. Seeing that we are in Florida, I've gotten into the habit, as we're exploring different areas of Florida, to just slap it in Air DNA and to see if maybe the short-term rental market is decent in this area. Now, there aren't very many long-term rental comps, but look at this. There are some short-term rental comps in this area. So I always like to put 2 more than twice the number of bedrooms for number of guests. But these numbers, these are very weak. And annual revenue, yeah, for a house, it's very weak. But this ADR is just very, very weak. Under 125 ADR, I consider it very weak. Pretty high occupancy though, but very weak in general. You may want to also look, if you're really interested in a particular area, you may want to consider paying for the data for this particular area. If you really want Jacksonville, you really want Destin, you really want wherever it might be in Florida, you may want to consider paying for the data for your area. And just like we do, like we have the data for all areas, and because we're looking often. And once you do, you have access to the top properties. Okay, top comparison properties. So it found this one, right? It's not exactly neighboring, but it's there, it's on the map. And we see that this property is available 222 days a year. It's generating 22,200 a year. And its revenue potential, basically, if it was available 365 days a year, it would generate somewhere in the 32,000 range, which is, okay, at best, but 50% rule, 32,000, 50%, you have 16,000 coming in a year, and you're in it for 150, probably plus the theming and the furnishing, because now you're in a short-term rental, and so you don't want to forget there's some extra costs involved. So 16,000, which you will divide by, say, probably at that point 185 after you've furnished and made it pretty. And so you're back down to an 8.6 cap on a short-term rental property. And so I think I've said enough so far. I've been going at it for under 10 minutes, and we've explored a bunch of different options here. Does this look like a deal or no deal for you? And what might be the biggest benefit or downfall according to you? So let's see that chat. Deal or no deal here for Xavier's property, and why? And while those messages are coming in, I want to show you that some of you might be aiming for the top end of the market, and that's perfectly fine. It's a big part of our strategy. So we can, if you do have the data for your market, you can look at how the top performing properties are doing. And you can say, well, this is not comparable, or this is comparable, and why? There's really not a lot of data in this area. But we can see the average ADRs. So when these places get booked, on average, it's $142 a night, $103.33, $97 a night. These are very low. And considering these are the only properties, they are also the top properties across all filters, This seems to be a very low demand area for short-term rentals. So we have no deal on the board. No deal. Why is the chat disabled? So you have to use the Q&A. I'm sorry. We'll have to fix that. I'll send a message to Romel to help us out with that. But basically, I would have to agree with you on this one. It's really looking like we're far from a deal up front here. And so if it's an area that interests you, or if it's a deal that you see some particular insight, or you have personal plans and this area is where you want to be, then fine, go ahead, initiate a conversation, a relationship, and see if you can make a deal out of this. Because if you're seeing that this is not a deal, well, probably other people are also saying it's not a deal. And so maybe there you have some thinner competition. But baseline comparison to other properties that we've seen in the past here, this is a weak return property when it comes to cash flow. We might buy at a discount, but where's the cash flow? We're coming to the States for cash flow. So Sterling and Savvy are also saying no deal, and location is a big reason for this, right? Where are your managers? Where's the rental demand? So absolutely fantastic. Poria likes it. If it's a deal with 30K, so are you saying if there's 30,000 of renovation, it's a deal for you? Well, keep in mind, we haven't even really got sized up the long-term rental rates. It's looking like this is not a short-term rental property. It's more of a long-term. So now we need to really size up. So next step would be to, if you like this area, contact 2, 3 professional local management companies and discuss with them this particular property and what rents would be, and just run some quick numbers right on the spot. And then you can decide in a matter of seconds, are you in? Are you going to put in some lowball offer and move on? Or are you just going to move on? Your choice at this point. Oh, yes, Corey, if you buy it for 30,000, it might change the numbers. Yeah, definitely, right? If you bought this for 30. And that's a good point. It's an exercise I often like to do. So long as I don't have a big deal-breaking criteria happening, I ask myself, if this property was given to me, would I be happy, right? Because no money down deals and creative acquisition strategies are possible and often happen on the properties that most other people don't want, right? Or don't see the potential in. And so, excellent. Go in there and put in an offer at 30,000 and see where it goes. So that is it. I think we're pretty far from a deal on this one starting, but diamonds are made, not found. So that is it for our deal reveal this evening, ladies and gentlemen. 5 minutes in and out. And if anybody is interested in the blueprint, the recording is going to be available soon. And so if you'd like to join, you can just register and you'll get the recording within a couple days time, hopefully by Monday. And n4t.club/blueprint is where you go. So that was our deal reveal for this week. We hope to see you next week or on the Facebook group. Our whole family is growing like crazy, so don't miss out on the action. There's going to be a lot of there's going to be a lot of activity coming in September and in the months to come in the JK brand, and you won't want to miss it, especially if you've been in the community for a while. We've got some extra goodies coming your way, so be sure to check it out. And as always, if you have a deal you'd like us to review on our
Don't wait for tomorrow.
If there's a deal that you'd like us to review on the deal reveal, well, just send it in, info@nowfortomorrow.club. We're here to help. Reach out to us, and we look forward to seeing your success. Now for tomorrow, everyone. Go get your miracle.
Don't wait for tomorrow.